Wow, big time story. Spectacular, the Silverstacular is here to talk about treasure that's found right here in modern times. A big one, probably the biggest one that we're going to see in our lifetimes. This is massive and needs to be known everywhere. If you are a collector of coins, this has to appeal to you. This is amazing. Listen, every so often there's a country, whether it's here in the United States or overseas, where some of you may be watching, there are some hidden treasures that get pulled up out of the ground. They get found by metal detecting or just regular excavating of the area. And you find these hordes of lost treasure. And it's just happening every few months or so. It's kind of fascinating how much that still happens. So, people bury their wealth, and then one day down the road, somebody finds it. And this right here is a story of something that was lost in the depths, into the water, into Davy Jones' locker, and is now going to be recovered. The San Jose.
Well, hello everybody. I seek to educate and entertain through my journey of collecting coins and stacking precious metals. I encourage you to subscribe and please stay with me on this journey. I am Spegtacular, the Silverstacular.
We're going to read this news story because it's fascinating. Like I said, everybody out there needs to know about this one. It is a amazing story. So, nice little piece right there. I love the history of shipwreck coins, just because of what they represent in the hobby, that alluring treasure hunt. That we just I don't know. It's just like a human nature thing just to love that kind of stuff. But anyways, let's read the story. So it says in the title, this Holy Grail shipwreck off Colombia could hold an epic treasure worth $20 billion. Now it's being recovered. Colombia's President Gustavo Petro wants the San Jose, which was sunk by the British in 1708, to be brought to the surface before 2026. So it says the multi-billion-dollar treasure may be on the horizon for Colombia. A wrecked Spanish galleon carrying a booty that could be worth as much as $20 billion is set to be retrieved from the Caribbean Sea within the next 3 years, according to the Colombian government. San Jose sank off the Colombian port of Cartagena after a skirmish with British Navy in 1708. Historians believe the ship was carrying an epic treasure trove at the time, including 200 tons of gold, silver, and emeralds. The cargo is estimated to be worth $20 billion in today's money. Colombian President Gustavo Petro wants the Holy Grail of shipwrecks to be recovered before his term ends in 2026. As reported by Bloomberg, he isn't the only one vying for the treasure, though. In 1981, U.S. company Glauca Mora said it located the San Jose and handed over the coordinates to Colombian authorities in exchange for half the treasure upon retrieval. Then, in 2015, the Colombian government announced that it independently discovered San Jose at a different location. And it also shared a video of the ship last year. The coordinates remain a state secret, but Glauca Mora's successor, Sea Search Armada, believes the Colombian Navy found the wreck in the same debris field it had discovered 34 years prior. Sea Search Armada is now suing Colombia for $10 billion, equivalent to half the fortune, as per its calculations. At the same time, Spain, Colombia, and Bolivia's indigenous Quahara community are arguing the treasure is rightfully theirs as the Spanish forced them to mine the precious metals. That's a good point. Petro has told officials to set up a public-private partnership or do a deal with a private firm to get the San Jose to the surface as soon as possible, according to Minister of Culture Juan David Correa. This is one of the priorities for the Petro administration, the minister told Bloomberg. The president has told us to pick up the pace. Very, very interesting story. This is a good point right here, where it says, at the same time, Spain, Colombia, and Bolivia's indigenous Quahara community are arguing the treasure is rightfully theirs as the Spanish forced them to mine the precious metals. That is the question, right? So are the people that were basically enslaved, are they the rightful owners of the treasure that they excavated? Or are the people that force them to do it for them, the rightful owners, or is the rightful owners the people that basically just had it outside of their door, just sitting there waiting? Or the first people to discover the shipwreck? Who does it belong to? And I guess that's often the question with shipwrecks. I think over here in Florida, treasure is supposed to be split between the state if there's a certain dollar amount, or however that works. It's pretty interesting, right? I kind of am on the side of finders keepers this day and age. I mean, that many years later, I don't think you can call claim to something that is a finders keeper scenario, if you ask me. But anyways, that's the argument. You know, some of this stuff could just wash up on shore somewhere. And when it washes up on shore and it gets attributed as a shipwreck coin from, you know, whatever shipwreck was in that area, that's how that kind of stuff happens. Here's another one right here that, you know, who knows what the shipwreck was, but it very, very well could have been a part of a shipwreck, being an environmentally damaged coin. What else do I have here? Always, you could find little gold nuggets that could definitely be part of some sort of wreckage. And here's a historic one, the 1715 fleet piece. So Spain was up to doing some serious excavating when it came to gold and silver, trying to build wealth for their country. Here's another one with some saltwater damage. Although it cannot be attributed to any certain shipwreck, oftentimes these big coins were just, you know, part of the wreckage, and, you know, they can't be attributed to any certain wreck, so they get the shipwreck effect or saltwater damage designation. And you just have to wonder, as a coin collector, where did it come from? Anyways, that's a fascinating story. $20 billion with a B. Probably the biggest one we're ever going to hear of in our lifetimes, I would imagine. I don't think you're going to find a shipwreck in our lifetimes that's worth more than this right here. But you never know. Something like this comes out every few months or so, where more shipwreck stuff is discovered, or some kind of earthen jar overseas is unearthed, or some hoard is found here in the United States, and it just builds the hobby, doesn't it? Makes it so much more interesting. Anyways, go research this story for yourself. I'm sure if you'll Google something along the lines of Colombian shipwreck, you should get many articles on this story right here, and you can read it for yourself and look at some of the video news that's out there. I got to go for now. I appreciate you for watching. Spegtacular and the San Jose are out. You know, when I was a kid, we did this every day in school, and I believe we need to bring this back a little bit, and I'm going to start right now. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.